A year ago, I tried to insert myself into the world of Skyrim challenges because I wanted desperately gain some traction to my channel. And even though that video performed very badly, here we are again asking the same question. If you can beat Survival Skyrim by only using your fist? A difference of the last time, in this run, I will only be using my fist to fight. So no restoration. I'm gonna be using a lot of food, so I'm gonna be cooking and trying to get as many potions I can get. So leaving that out of the way, let us begin. We start our adventure as a Khajiit because of the bonus they have with unarmed damage. We go to the chopping block and that's when Alduin saved us. We ran through all the chaos and get into the keep, roll off and cut our ties, and now we are free to do all the punching we want. I try my punches and yep, they are working amazing. We do some easy punching and go across the cave and finally wanting the clear skies and taste some freedom one more time. We turn on the survival, so now we need to take care of our sleep, hunger and cold. That last one is gonna be annoying AF in the future. And we cannot fast travel. And only because of that, we'll make this playthrough way longer than is needed. So I go to Riverwood and talk to Gertrude. She told me that I need to go to see the Jar of Whiterun and tell him about Dragon. But before I go there, I have other plans. First, I go to Bleak Falls Barrows, get inside and start beating the crap out of the people in there. The thing is, the unarmed Khajiit, at least at the beginning of the game, is very OP, thanks to their claws. I got across this place till I found a giant spider that I beat the living crap out of her and killed the guy who stole the claw. I continued adventuring inside this cave till I found the Draugr, who wakes up after I learn a shout. I beat the dead bones out of him and loot him. He had a weird piece of stone that I wanted to throw away, but I said F it and took it with me. After that, I traveled all the way to the city of Whiterun. Was a long and slow walk running there, but at last I arrived. I told the Jarl about the dragon that attacked Helgen and everything that happened, and he believed me with no questioning, so yeah, nice. After that, asked me to do a favor for his mage, Farengard. Told me he wanted me to fetch some weird stone from Bleak Falls Barrows. So I showed the stone that I had and he said, yep, that was the stone. So yeah, I'm lucky I don't have to go back to that place again. When I'm gonna ask for a reward, a sudden conversation happens. In one of the towers close by, one of the guards saw a dragon, so we need to go there to investigate and beat the crap out of him. We arrived there and I helped. He didn't survive too long and I helped to defeat this dude. Weirdly enough, I started consuming his soul and now the guards are calling me the Dragonborn. Now I can shout! I go back to the Jarl in Whiterun, and this guy is super happy that I killed a dragon, so he named me the Thane of Whiterun and gave me a bunch of stuff that I ended up selling because I need money for potion. Also the Greybeards are calling me like a mom called his 7-year-old by shouting as hard as they can, so I go outside and this kind person lent me a horse for free because I'm the Dragonborn and go to see these old folks. Taking the intended path 100% of the time, I would never take a shortcut to the tower, right? Who does that? Come on. I arrive and we start shouting each other, and they teach me some more shouts when my throat starts hurting a little bit because of so much shouting. They sent me to retrieve a horn in the other side of the world. Now is when the carriage guy becomes my best friend because I'm gonna be using him for traveling a lot. No fast traveling, so we went north to the city of Mortal and keep walking from there. The thing is, it was freezing and almost died freezing, but I could put it out thanks to a bandit camp that had a fire pit, so I could warm my body. The cold management was awful in this campaign, so I'm gonna be suffering a lot because of that. We reach our destination and inside, more of the same. Punching till we reach the end of the cave with an amazing scene, so everything is epic for the moment when we hold the horn and someone took the damn horn and now I have to go to Riverwood. Hate you so damn much. So went to the City of Solitude because it was the closest one with a carriage that could take me to Whiterun, because I'm not gonna walk all the way back there. So straight to Solitude and took the carriage to Whiterun, and then it was nighttime when I arrived, so I took advantage from the Khajiit caravan there was there, and I sold to them lots of stuff and bought some potions. And yet again, the horse keeper was kind enough to lend me a horse again, so I could go fast to Riverwood. As soon as I arrived, I talked to Delphine about renting the attic room, so she told me there was no attic room and gave me a regular one to just follow me inside and tell me I should follow her to her room. That is weird. Long story short, she wanted to kill a dragon and I said yes, so we went and slayed this dragon. Arriving to the dragon place, the people was running away because Alduin has appeared and he's summoning one of his friends. But I don't care and punched the living crap out of him to end up absorbing his soul. And finally Delphine believed in me that I'm the Dragonborn. We go back to Riverwood and chat some more. This time she wanted me to go inside of the Thalmor embassy because she believes that the Thalmors are behind of all of this dragon nonsense. I have nothing better to do. I go to the embassy. They invited me to a party, but they wanted me to get inside of the building, kill all the soldiers and grab some papers, and that's exactly what I did. After I leave everyone at their fate with the troll, I went back to Delphine's and grabbed my stuff. Told her she had a tinfoil hat theory because the Thalmors has nothing to do with the dragon stuff. However, I learned from Esbern, a name that Delphine recognized and told me that I needed to fetch him. So I went to Riften. Okay, let me tell you something. This is not the first time I'm here, because at the beginning, when we arrived to Whiterun for the first time, I came straight here so I could grab the gloves that I'm using right now that give us 10 alarm points. So yeah, I did that first at the beginning of the campaign. We finally, after some dungeon crawling, we reach Esbern. He believes us that we are the Dragonborn. Everyone always believes everything that we say. That's weird. And after some preparations, we go back to Riverwood. And finally, Esper and Delphine met each other. After a lot of years, they start talking about a temple, Skyfall temple, that we needed to go there, so we grab our gear and went straight to Whiterun, so I could take the carriage to Markthat. And the people here were so nice because they lent me another horse that I used to arrive to the Skyfall temple. Arriving there, of course, there was a dragon, but I completely ignored it because the dragon was too distracted playing with a huge group of bandits. Inside, we reached a final chamber after some puzzle solving and cutting myself. We finally reached the final room where Esbern started giving us a lesson and tell us about a shout that could bring down Alduin. But because I did not know nothing, I went to ask the Greybeards about it. Going to Morgthar to take the carriage, a guard stopped me and told me that I needed to pay a fine because all the times that I took the horses. But that was BS because they gave me to me. But I didn't want to fight guards, so I just paid the fee and they have to bring me inside of the city. That was so tedious. But in the end, I don't know why, it doesn't even matter. But in the end, I ended up saving a girl from being stabbed. After that, I continued my way to Whiterun, took the carriage, asked for a horse again, and took the path intended to reach the Greybeards. They didn't want to help me at first, but their boss talked to them and now they are forced to help me. They teach me a new shout so I could clear the skies and finally reaching the top of the mountain to meet a dragon, Partonax. He tell me stuff and things and that I needed an Elder Scroll to learn the shout that will help to defeat Alduin. So I go to talk to the Greybeard because they are closer and they tell me that I needed to ask in the College of Winterhold. Maybe there I'm gonna have luck. So I go to Whiterun to take the carriage to Winterhold. I talk to the lady in the entrance and use the "Do you know who I am" card. After I prove who I am, they let me inside of the college. There I speak with the librarian and again I use the "Do you know who I am" card and he gave me some books. I read them and I can say I understand absolutely nothing. So basically he told me that I needed to freeze myself and go more north and talk to an old guy, and that's what I did. This was brutal. The freezing temperatures make me have some bad times, but in the end I reached the guy and he told me he did not have the scroll, but if I go to Black Ridge I might have a luck. So there we went. Again, this was brutal. I died a lot of times because of the freezing temperatures. Before I find out the route, I ended up finding a tomb when I was close to freeze to death. So I went inside and realized I could not do the tomb because it was a part of the companion questline. So I just grabbed some potions, warmed myself up and kept my way to Black Ridge. This time I didn't have much trouble because I was close and the temperature I had was enough. So I reached the keep. At first I fight, but when I realized I did not have enough potions and I needed to kill a lot of farmers, I decided to just run as fast as I could. When I finally reached Black Ridge, I also ran to my destination. the scroll. I solved the hardest puzzle ever and got the scroll. Now we need to go back to Partonox. Thankfully, the exit of the reach was close to Wydron, and you know the drill. Reach to the stable, grab the horse, climb the mountain, climb the second one, and read the scroll to see a way too long cutscene about the shout and how Alduin came to our time. So when we come back to the present, and guess who was waiting for us? Alduin! After I die way too many times, I decided to just leave the battleground and went to collect some potions from the different vendors in all major cities. After I rack up a good amount of potions, I came back to Alduin and finally defeated him. With that, I was happy because the most difficult part was already over, and now I have to worry for one more fight and we are Gucci. Okay, now that I defeated Alduin, now we needed to learn where Alduin's lair is. So for that, I need to capture one of his allies, and for that, I needed to use Dragon's Reach to capture him. So I go to speak to the Jarl. Remember, no fast travel, so I have to do all the stuff walking. When I arrive to Whiterun, he says yes, but he wanted a peace treaty or something like that. I go back to speak with the Greybeards. After that, they decided that the conference was gonna be held in their temple. I go to Solitude to speak with Talios, and he said he will go to the meeting. After that, I go to speak to Ulfric, and he's more like of a diva, but in the end he said yes. So we have our peace meeting. Now, for the first time in I don't know how long, I have to make all the travel to High Hrothgar because stuff. So I take all the road, ignoring every single enemy, and just straight to my destiny. I climb the 1000 steps and finally reach my destination. Now we have the meeting and it's boring as fuck. In the end, everyone will be friends till I destroy Alduin, and like that, now we can use Dragon's Reach to lure the dragon and capture him. So we do exactly that. I go back to Whiterun, wasting no time. We call this guy. I dragon ran him and capture him in record time. After that, I free the dragon and we ride into the sunset to Alduin's cave, where a lot of running and no punching at all. I evade everything inside. But in the end, we reach our destination and enter to... I can't remember the name. The Afterlife? We reach the entrance and have the actual last boss of this game. I do my best to heal myself as much as I can, because I bring no potions, of course, and just with no warning of word, I start punching. After a few attempts, I successfully defeat him, and I can enter to the place. I eat a lot of food inside so I could heal myself and go to war. Starting the last battle against Alduin, after waiting for the party to defeat him and myself dealing some damage, we can finally answer the question: yes, you can beat Skyrim Survival by only using your fist. Thanks everybody for watching this video. This one took a long time to put together, and if you could give it a subscribe and a like, That would be amazing. Also leave down below some challenges that you would like to see, and leaving all of that behind, I'm returning. And I hope every single one of you have an amazing day, and I see you in the next video. Returning out.